Hello guys, this is Juan for JuanSource.com again, and I'm going to be doing another demo commentary of another CVOP match from this past playoffs. This was the first round match of the playoffs. This is Pandemic versus Venom on DE Nuke again. And a couple of the main points that I'm going to be going over in this commentary is first off, my rotations on CT side. I'm going to show a couple of rounds of how I differ my rotations from previous commentaries that I think I've done. In particular, the last complexity demo that I did, I flank a lot through the hut from ramp room, which I think cost us quite a few rounds me doing that. So I changed it up a little bit. I've changed my playstyle a little bit, as well as I'm going to be focusing more so on my other teammates on the counter-terrorist side, because I think I've done quite a few commentaries on my play at ramp. So I'm going to be kind of focusing on their play mainly in the upper bomb site and how they hold it there. As for T-side, again, I'm going to be focusing more so on my teammates. We do a lot of upper takes, as well as I win a couple clutch rounds that I'm going to be explaining my thought process on. So let's go ahead and get started. Right here, we see Mustang working the ramp room. What he does is he works this kind of slowly. What he wants to do is just draw their nades first. A lot of times what we'll do is have one guy get into that little room before the ramp room. I like to call that skip. I encourage people to have a name for it. But yeah, so we work one guy into there while we sit other guys back in radio room. So in case the guy working up, he's kind of vulnerable. In case he gets flashed, he's able to have support from the radio room. But anyhow, what we did there was we exploded on the ramp. Mustang worked the ramp room, drew some nades, and then we just picked the time and three of us exploded in the ramp room. We were able to get entry kills. And then what we did was we double peeked that tower there, and I think there's going to be another example of a round where we do that again. What they do is they jumped underneath that tower, two of them together, to clear that, so that they can pretty much ensure a trade if there's a guy peeking down tower underneath that into, I call that room turnpike. So we did a good job that round. What I did was I stayed in the hut with bomb and just waited for them to come out, and so we were able to take that together, and we did a good job of working together. So that worked pretty well. However, we had really good upper spawn, so what we're doing is rushing upper here. And notice that flash Mustang throws. It's a really good flash to throw on the fly when you're coming out the squeaky. He throws into the site. However, we did get plowed down for the mini. Usually it's that first guy's responsibility to come out and check mini. The mini garage, I don't know if Mustang was blind there or if he was just focusing on flashing the other guys in the site that he saw. But however, when you come out that squeaky, generally you want to clear that mini, as if you're throwing that flash at Mustang through, the guys in the site will generally be blind, so you want to clear that mini while the guys in the site are blind. But now it's down to like a 1 versus 3 here. Paradox just working the hut, really not much talk about in this situation. What he's just trying to do is isolate them, get them in 1 versus 1s, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. They know exactly where he is, and bombs down in their position. Okay, what we're doing here is we're probably just going to keep working this ramp room solo, because they're doing a good job of getting picks there, as well as Paradox is soloing outside. A lot of times what we like to do is roll 3 ramp, 1 work the hut, and just put a lot of pressure there, and 1 late round take outside. You'll see Paradox right here is he's being pretty aggressive, but he's not really opening himself up to picks. He's using his flashes and smokes to push up. He's not just rushing up without rhyme or reason, I guess. He's going up with his smokes and flashes. And so what we were trying to do there was wrap on the mini garage and have one guy hut, so that hut guy can do flashes and whatnot for the guys wrapping on mini into the site. It worked pretty well. We actually weren't even able to get into the site. We were able to kill them before that occurred, and Noit and Mustang did a good job of isolating that one guy in the mini garage and just using their nades and flashes to really pin him down and make it difficult for him. Okay. So again, here's an example of what Mustang does. He throws that flash, he draws flashes, he knows that there's an opera there, so I'd imagine he probably wants to either smoke this or get into a position where he's not going to get opped. And he spots the other guy there, and there's immediately 2 ramp. I guess that must have caught him off guard. So since he calls that 2 ramp, we probably want to execute somewhere else relatively quickly. Now it's down to a 1 versus 3 in my favor, in their favor. And I got the bomb, and so I'm assuming one guy's probably going to be by tower, 1 outside, and probably 1 guarding lower. Especially since I just heard that vent flank break rather. So what I just want to do is be random, just try to isolate the guys and just not really give away my position, because then they're just going to swarm to me. And I got a good amount of time. I got 30 seconds. So I just want to be random, check spots, and hopefully try to get isolation kills. So what I do is I just go down through this back hall. I'm assuming a lot of times guys covering this site will, lower site will be in that barrel. And so I go in there, I pre-fire that, and then again I just want to be random. So I flash up that vent, and I plan on going another vent. I was able to catch a guy in that vent, and then I go up, and the guy was running through mini. So I was able to catch 3 guys off guard there, and that's exactly what you want to do in those types of situations. Just be random, try to get some free kills by catching them in odd situations. So again, what we're doing on this round is we're doing that 1-1-3 where we're sending 3 outside, 1 towards the ramp, because we're having a lot of success on outside and the mini garage. Since they tend to be playing it very passively, our players are able to get up very far without much opposition. So we want to take advantage of that and keep pushing the outside, get position on that mini garage right here. What happened was my the player that was working the ramp paradox, he died. So instead of going back to that area and trying to fight off that, I just grabbed the bomb and grouped with my guys towards outside, and so that we can try to do something together here. And now it's like a 3 versus 3. And what we do, instead of trying to take the upper site, since they're probably already there and they're going to be in tower, is we just take mini and just go straight down the vents. That's a move I like to do a lot, is just get down those vents, because sitting in that upper bomb site can often lead to a lot of problems, because a lot of rotates come there very quickly. You're open to a ton of angles. So instead of just trying to plant upper, what we did was we went lower right away, just down those vents to the mini. We threw a flash upper and got immediately down, just try to sneak down, and we were successful doing that. However, when we got down, the rotate through barrel had just gotten there, and it caught us, 2 of us off guard, and so we weren't able to pull off the round. But I think what we did there is a very good thing to do, and I encourage people to do that if they're coming from outside. Instead of always trying to take upper, if you can just stream flashes through mini garage into that upper, just take those down those vents right away, because it's a much easier plant than planting in upper, and you don't have to worry about rotations and flanks quite as much. So notice the flashes I'm doing. We have that upper spawn again, so I double flash towards the mini right now. Hopefully our lead guy out clears that mini, unlike last time. But the guys on the site are completely blind, thanks to that flash from Squeaky. And you see Paradox comes down in the vent right here, because there has been a vent flanker quite a bit. And instead of pushing into the vent, he probably should, or pushing out on the site, he probably should have just stayed in the vent and waited for that rotate. But anyhow, so what we try to do is just get out of the site. Sitting in the site is generally a bad idea. So Mustang just gets into the vent, and we have another guy in hut. So we have good positioning. I think we have another guy in hut. Yes, we do. So it's 2 versus 2, and we have very good positioning. It's unlikely that we're going to lose this round, just because they have to come after us. We have a guy in the hut and a guy in the vents, and we can really toy with them a lot and waste their time. Like, one can peek and the other can hide, the other, and vice versa. And we can just really waste their time just with making noise. And they're not likely going to hold on the bomb, because they know we're right there, ready to peek out on them if they do try to defuse it right away. So. And again, sitting in that site is something you do not want to do, because you're open to so many angles. And another thing is, you can't really play with them. You can't toy with their time, and you can't waste time, because you're either going to kill them or they're going to kill you. There's not much delay there, and that's one of the priorities you want to do when you're when you got the bomb down, is you just want to delay that. Make them waste as much time as possible. So right now I find out that it's eco. So again, what I do is, instead of forcing ramp or inside, is I just group with my guys outside and try to make a move with them. Once we see that they're really pushed up on us, we go back towards inside here. And we did a good job of clearing that lobby. However, I should have probably taken it all the way, and I took my nade out, which was sort of a dumb move, and so he was able to kill 2 of us rather easily. So it's down to a 1 versus 1 now on an eco, unfortunately. This should be a given round for us. However, we handled it somewhat poorly. In fact, what we probably shouldn't have done is gone back in lobby. You'll see Noit does a smart move here as he breaks the vents to make... He knows the guy's probably in the site somewhere, and if he breaks the vent lower, it's likely that he will probably go into the vent or go into lower. And so Noit was right there, and he did a good job of doing that. However, he just gets outshot here, and I think Dominator was completely blind there, and so somewhat unlucky on our part, but Noit made a good play there, and we'll win that round more often than not. So again, I'm taking the bomb here, and we're continuing to work that 1-1-3 setup because we're doing a lot of picks outside, and they're working it together. Again, if your opponent is playing very passive outside, you wanna exploit that by getting position on that. And so what I do here is I just kind of random nade into the mini to make the mini player. A lot of times people will play in that mini garage. I want to make that mini player worried about me instead of our guys wrapping from outside. So it's easier for the guys outside to wrap on that mini garage. They have one less player to worry about. So what I do here is we have our guys coming from mini garage. I'm just trying to kind of draw flashes in the hut here and wait for my guys come from mini. Once they do come out, I heard a reload towards the vent there, and I call that to my teammates. And since usually I would try to take down vents in this situation, since I was right there and 3 of my teammates were there, but now it's like a 4 versus 2, and we're all together. So I figured I might as well plant. And again, you don't want to sit down in the middle of the site. I go forklift right here. This is a pretty good position. Post plant, it's not preferred, but if you're watching a guy drop down from tower, you can obviously get some easy kills there. However, you do want to get towards the lobby and hut, squeaky vents, and also outside mini garage are all great places. Playing inside the site definitely is not. So you've seen what two of our guys do is we smoke off the tower right here, and that's something that the Venom also did to us, and it causes a lot of confusion on the CT rotates if you double smoke that tower, because a lot of times your teams will play one ramp and rotate between tower and ramp, and if you double smoke that, it makes it difficult if you hit upper to rotate into that tower. It also gives the impression that you're going to hit upper. So what we did was we double smoked that tower to make them think that we're doing an upper take, and then we hit ramp to make it a little easier for us to take into the ramp room, because likely the rotator will think, okay, well they're going inside, so I'm going to rotate. It's either mining or tower. So we were able to take ramp pretty easily there. Okay, in the second half, again, I said I'm going to be focusing on the guys mainly playing upper. A few rounds I'm going to switch to myself and kind of show how I rotate. Mainly it's going to be through the vents, and I'm just going to kind of explain why I think the vent rotate is often better than flanking through hut, for example, or going through the tower. But anyhow, this first round I'm going to be locked on Paradox, and take note to kind of his random level of aggressiveness here. He's kind of a variable. A lot of times we play a very similar setup. We play to many other teams. We play 2 dedicated upper, 1 dedicated ramp, 1 dedicated outside, and Paradox is our variable. We pull him all around. Sometimes he doubles up ramp with me, sometimes he plays tower early round, sometimes he goes mini, and that's kind of what I'm going to show throughout this commentary. And you see, right away he pushes into here, because since he's our variable, we're not really depending on him to hold upper. He's just extra support. So what he does is he pushes into there to try to make a move, get a pick, and he's able to do that because I called a lot ramp, and so he pushes into there. And he's able to catch him off guard. And again, he gets 2 picks before he ends up dying, and we still have 3 towards the upper site here. So this is turning out pretty good for us. And I rotated through tower here simply because it was so late in the round. And I figured I'd just help cover the defuse here. He's in the hut, so we tell him just to stick on the defuse, and we crossfire cover this. That's something you want to do in that type of situation. 1 versus 3 is you just want to have 2 guys cover. Don't give them any chance to win the round, and just defuse. Okay, again, I'm going to be focusing on Paradox here. I call this Room Turnpike, and I've said this before. A lot of times what he'll do is just kind of sit here early in the round, help me defend for the rush, and I feel pretty confident holding the ramp by myself. So what he does is he's able to rotate off there, and we're kind of playing a passive setup. We're playing 3 towards upper, 1 passive outside, and myself just spotting ramp. And what Paradox does here is just kind of random nades in the hut, scares them off, delays them a little bit more, damages them if they're in there. And he smokes off that vent, so if anybody tries to come through mini garage and just get straight down that vent, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Well as if people come out, they're going to spam into that smoke where he just threw, thinking he's playing in it. That's something I covered in one of my other articles, where you just kind of fake your positioning by throwing a smoke, make people think you're playing in that smoke when you actually aren't. So this is kind of a good spot to play upper from. You're not really open to flashes. You can just look into that box right here, and he's just kind of playing a support position. We had a guy playing tower, and I think we had one playing towards the squeaky, and Paradox is able to just play a support position right there, and just help wherever they call from. And since he's not going to get blind, he's really in a good position to get a lot of kills. Okay, I'm going to focus on Mustang early around here, and you notice that he nades into this a lot. He doesn't really want to waste his flashes to hold off that rush, because he needs those for middle round if they plan on executing. So what he does is he double nades into the hut with Griff. So if they do rush out hut, they're likely going to die to those nades. So Kyle plays this spot a lot, right above the hut. In fact, we renamed that to Mustang spot just because he's plays it so much for so long. And it's a really good spot because you can, again, block yourself from getting flash there and just peek out on the guy's hut. And so what he's doing is kind of chasing the kills here, because I think we're at a disadvantage. Yeah, it's down to a 2 versus 4. So he's trying to make the move right here. They get the bomb down in the site. They're working together in these vents. I would probably try to reposition if I was them right here, simply because they know exactly where both of you are. If you try to reposition, make them worry about the vents while you're moving, and just get into a different position and try to get some more kills, maybe from barrel or something else, instead of just sticking to the vents, because they're probably just going to post up and post up on you and kill you as soon as you peek out. But now it's, I think, down to a 1 versus 3 right here. What I would probably do in Nick's position right here, he did a pretty good job here, but what I would probably do is just try to make them lose their guns here. We won the first 2 rounds, and if he could have just held them in the site and made them just stay in the site, make him think that he was going for it, and have them die to the bomb, it would have been really beneficial, because if none of them were able to save their guns and it was the 3rd round, they would likely have to save on one of the next few rounds. With the CGS rule set here. This is the 4th round, and they haven't rushed upper yet, so a lot of times teams will rush upper. So we're anticipating it might be an upper rush. We're thinking this might be their upper rush spawn. So what Paradox does is he goes through the mini garage, thinking that it might be an upper rush here, and just post up on the squeaky. Well, we predicted wrong, and probably the worst thing that could have happened for us here, as we got double picked with an op through that squeaky door. That's definitely something you don't want to give up, just those picks like that. But what Mustang does, now it's down to a 3 versus 5, as well as myself, is we push and we try to even it back up. This is, again, referring to my playing in the advantage articles. We're actually at the disadvantage here, and we're trying to play the disadvantages. We want to be very aggressive and push this. And so what Mustang and Griff are doing right here is Mustang gets really aggressive here, so he can tell that they're right there. So they're able to stack together here. They know exactly where they are, so they just push up, and they're able to double up here and get a lot of just surprise kills, because they know exactly where they are, and they're just kind of working them together now, and they just want to 4 versus 2 just by being aggressive and playing together there. So that's a really good example of how to play your advantage. Just be aggressive, be random, try to catch them off guard. Just make risky moves that you wouldn't normally make. Just take risks, because I mean, you really don't have much to lose at that point. You're already at a big disadvantage. You're not likely to win the round. So just try to do something that's going to reverse that, and they did a great job of that. So again, they're pre-nading the hut, what they generally do is pre-flash that squeaky, because they're really not worried too much about the hut rush because of that double nade. The squeaky rush, however, can cause them some problems since they don't have direct support from mini that early in the round. So that definitely causes a problem here. And I think this is the round where I want to show my rotation here. they're just kind of spamming away here. I don't really get the idea that they're going to hit this. I think they're just trying to hold me here so I don't flank. So I'm just kind of getting ready to rotate, not really peeking too aggressively, just spotting a little bit. I see that guy there. I'm just kind of waiting here on the ramp. I call my teammate over to spot into the ramp for me so I don't have to spot it aggressively, so he can't just spam me down since I am at half health right here. So I have my teammate spotting from the turnpike. It's gotten very quiet and there's only 20 seconds left. We're thinking that they're probably going to hit upper, and they do. Exactly that. So instead of flanking that ramp, since I knew there was a guy working towards there, which I'm thinking he's probably going to be sitting sandbag or hut, watching for that flank, I go through the vents here, and I go as quick as possible right here, and I'm able to just get in there. I get the bomb planter, and then I retreat because I knew my time was so low, and so I was able to just win a 3 versus 1 right there just by being smart on my rotates and killing the bomb planter. So, that's going to be it. We won the match 10-4, and I think we won a lot of rounds just by simple, smart play. We won some clutch rounds, and just by working together, playing our advantage correctly, playing our disadvantage correctly. So I think just we had a really well-played game, and I think a lot of fundamentals can be learned from that match right there. So, well, that's going to be it. I hope you learned a lot, and I definitely look forward to the next one.